Hello, this is Michelle Gray. This is my final lesson plan with Wyatt Milton and John Payne. If you go to the top, you'll see all of us authors, and it's an introduction to oral history. It's lesson plan for 8th grade. It's about 15 minutes. Essentially, what this whole lesson plan serves to do is just introduce students to the concept of oral histories, the difference between what oral histories were in a more past tense, in a historical tense, in a prehistoric historical tense, and how it is today, and for them to learn access to current oral history databases, use them in the future historical reports, and understand the purpose and need for oral history documentation. So we're going to begin by stating first that students should be already familiar with Audacity and Auphonic chapter marks. That'll make this whole lesson plan flow a lot easier. If they're not familiar, then take about 30 minutes or so to really go over it with your students, or make sure that they watch a tutorial or take some sort of tutorial prior to coming to class that day. So the first procedure to begin with is you're going to lead the students through a presentation on the origins of oral history. So I have the presentation pulled up already, but there's also links at the bottom. And it's an introduction. It's pretty skeleton, but it's meant to suit your teaching styles and not overload with text. It just goes through the origins, then continues on to current historical databases and elaborates on that and current formats of oral histories, and then continues on to the importance of gathering oral histories. It concludes with the questions that you're going to present to your students when they think about their own oral histories, and afterwards has the class oral history procedures. So the students, you will say them out loud, but sometimes they'll get confused. They can refer to this as you keep it up at the front of the classroom. So finally, with those procedures up at the front, you're going to have the students split into pairs, and with their thoughts, which they've taken about 2 minutes or so to think about, over a current event. So for this particular presentation, I chose 9/11, but you could choose maybe Ferguson or some sort of very current event that they can all relate to and share their feelings about, and maybe personal stories. Just have the students split into pairs and interview each other. You're trying to go for about 3 to 4 minutes, no longer, and have them interview each other. Do this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Afterwards, have them, transfer the audio file in MP4, then import it to Auphonic so that they can create some chapter marks. I'd say about 5 chapter marks on their peers' interview. Then afterwards, have them upload both the audio file and the text files from Auphonic onto a classroom database. This could be a website that you create particularly for this assignment, or a general class website. Afterwards, just lead them through a short discussion on the students' perception of oral history, whether they consider it to be an important program to instill in the daily life and recording of history as a whole. And then finally, just assign the students to go to the classroom database, listen to 3 other classmates' oral histories, and afterwards they're going to write a short essay comparing the oral histories and yada yada yada. Just maybe dedicate a little less than 10 minutes at max for class time for this, because you really want them to write the short essays at home when they have more time to go over the interviews, listen to them a few times, really spend a lot of time on it. Below are links for the presentation, links for the application, so the Audacity, and then a blog post on how to use chapter marks and Auphonic, and then below this is a rubric for the short essay. All right, that's it. Thank you.